Yes, everyone, switch on your videos. Come on, quickly. Gianna, Galvin, Aisha, switch on your videos. All right, can you quickly tell me what is the last thing that you've written in your notebooks? Tell me what is the last thing? Nothing. What is the last thing you people have written? Say.
Chemotropism.
Chemotropism.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did I teach you the phytohormones, plant hormones? I have taught this, right? So let us quickly do the revision of all the different kinds of tropic movements. And then we'll start the revision of life processes. Okay. Because then the two chapters for your test or for your syllabus will be completed, right? Control and coordination and life processes, right? Life processes I've done with you all, isn't it? What about the other student? Only for one student I've done it, only for Aisha.
Ma'am,
The life processes chapter I have done it with you, right? So we'll start
yes.
the revision today, okay? So first, let us quickly. You people have written about chemotropism. Everything about chemotropism you have written.
No, ma'am.
No. So like we have to do chemotropism today, right? See, just like how we saw, you people are not even clear what you have written in your notebooks. Harshit, you tell me what you have written. What is the last thing you've written in your notebook? See, look at your notebook and tell me. All right, now talking about the different types of tropic movements. You have not written anything, Harshit? Yes or no?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Actually, I was absent in this. Yes.
Okay, so Aisha, have you written phototropism? This example in your
Yes,
notebook? Geotropism?
yes, ma'am.
Chemotropism you haven't written, right? And what about phytohormones? Have you written this? Auxin gibberellins? Yes
No,
or no?
ma'am.
No. Okay. All right. So we talked about the different kinds of tropic movements, wherein we saw that the tropic movements and their stimuli were very different, right? There were phototropism, that is, the stimuli was the light. Then there was geotropism, the stimuli was gravity. Chemotropism, the stimuli was chemical. Then there is hydrotropism, wherein the stimuli is water. And then thigmotropism, wherein the stimuli is touch. So depending upon the different kind of stimuli, there are different kinds of tropic movements that are present. Now talking about phototropism, the first case, right? So we know that whenever the plant is growing, or if you plant a seed under the soil, so the shoot will grow above the ground and these roots will grow below the ground, right? So whenever the shoot grows towards the light, we say that it is positively phototropic, right? Why? Because the motion is happening towards the stimulus, and the stimulus over here is the light. But when we talk about the roots, so the roots, they bend away from light, or they grow away from light. So we can say that they are showing negative phototropism. Now talking about geotropism, the next one. Now here the stimulus is the gravity. So we all know that the gravity is always acting towards the downward area, right? Towards the ground. That is why we're able to stand on the ground. So whenever we talk about the roots, so since the roots grow towards the ground, so they are positively geotropic, right? They show positive geotropism. And when the shoots or the stem, they grow upward, so they grow against the gravity, so we'll say that they are negative geotropism. They are showing negative geotropism. Then comes chemotropism. Now, chemotropism is the case wherein the chemicals are the stimulus that are provided, right? So, the growth of the pollen tube towards the ovule is one example of chemotropism, wherein the pollen tube, or you can say, have you people heard about pollen grain? Right? So that pollen grain, when it lands on the female part of the plant, then it germinates, meaning it uh, grows a tube-like long structure like this. For example, if this is the pollen grain, so when it will grow a tube like this. So this growth of the pollen tube is actually a chemical dependent process. So we'll call it as the chemotropic process. Now, if do you people remember nastic movements? Like we are discussing tropic movements, right? Do you people remember nastic movements?
Yes.
Can someone tell me what was nastic movement? Explain quickly. What was nastic movement?
These are the growth which depended on the growth,
Which one?
which depended on the growth.
No, see, in the case of nastic movements, the response did not dependent on, like, was not dependent on the stimulus, which, like, wherever the stimulus is provided from, right? And in the case of tropic movements, the response can be positive or it can be negative. Now, if we compare the nastic movements to the tropic movements, the nastic movements are faster, meaning the growth independent movements or the nastic movements, they are faster as compared to the growth related or growth dependent movements, meaning the tropic movements. Because we talked about one very famous example of touch me not plant, right? Whenever you touch a touch me not plant, it folds itself. So that is a very quick response that it shows. But when we talk about the different, like, for example, the growth of the stem, the growth of the root, it is very slow. So that is why we can say that the nastic movements or the growth independent movements, they are faster when you compare them to the growth related or the tropic movements. Clear, students? All right. Now, the example for this, to justify that we are saying that the nastic movement, it is faster than the tropic movement. So, the example is the movement of sensitive plant to touch is very quick, right? The touch me not plant provides a response very quickly, whereas the movement of the sunflower in day or night is slower. So then we come on to the topic of phytohormones. Just like how human beings have certain hormones in their body, same way plants also have hormones for coordination purpose. Their hormones are known as phytohormones. The word phyto means plant. So these plant hormones, they are synthesized away from where they act, right? So they are always synthesizing away from where they act. And whenever there is a need of a particular hormone, the hormone gets diffused, it gets released wherever it is required. And that required area becomes the area of action. Now, all in all, if we talk about hormones, so what are hormones? Always remember that hormones are non-nutrient chemicals. They are not required for nutrition aspect, but they are required for certain bodily aspects, right? So they are the non-nutrient chemicals synthesized by the plants for what? So for coordination. Now talking about the different types of plant hormones that are there. So there is auxin, gibberellins, which can also be called as gibberellic acid. Then there are cytokinins, abscisic acid, and lastly ethylene, which is a gaseous hormone. So you have to study about each of these hormones in detail. But have you people understood everything up until now? Any doubts? All right. Okay, now you people can note down till here and then we'll move forward. You can switch off your video and write.
Done, ma'am.
All of you are done, students?
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Yes, everyone's done.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the others? Harshit, Gianna, Galvin, you people are not responding?
Done, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
All right, okay. Now you can switch back your videos on. Let us talk about each of these hormones and their functions. Now, the first one that we're going to talk about is the auxin. Did you people have any doubts up until now, students?
No, ma'am.
No.
All right, okay, everyone, switch on your videos. Now, talking about auxin. See, auxin is that very important hormone of the plant, which is responsible for causing the growth of the plant. So whenever the plant grows taller, it is because of the auxin, that is the hormone which is released in it. So whenever, now in the auxin synthesis, what happens is that whenever the light gets detected, for example, there is a stem and light is coming from one side. So it will, you can say, light up this particular part, but not this part directly, right? So whenever the light is detected, auxins are synthesized at the tip of the shoot, right? Always remember, where is the auxin synthesized? So at the tip of the stem. Now it helps the cell to grow longer. It helps the cell to grow longer. Now when the light is coming from one side of the plant, the auxins are synthesized towards the shady side of the plant. So for example, if this is a stem, right, and the sun is over here, so the light comes onto this part, so the auxin will not get synthesized over here, rather it will go towards the place that is shady, the place that is not getting the direct sunlight, and it will get synthesized over here, and then it will get diffused to cause the growth in the plant. Now, since they go towards the shady side, so they cause the division of the cell in that area. And because of that very reason, the plant, they bend towards the light. Okay, this is why, because the cell division occurs in that shady part. So this is the plant. So it slowly bends towards the light. So that is auxin. And always remember that auxin is one of the most important hormone that the plant has. There comes the gibberellins or the gibberellic acid. So talking about the gibberellins, so they perform the work just like the auxin only, but remember that they help in the growth. Right? They are particularly responsible for, you can say, the growth in terms of length of the stem. Whereas auxin can cause the length of the stem as well as the length of the roots. Then comes the cytokinins. See, the word cytokinins comes from a very, you can say, known word, that is cytokinesis. Cytokinesis means division of the cell. So these cytokinins, that these hormones, what they do is that they promote the division of the cell. So wherever cell requires the division to be happening, cytokinins promote them. Now, where is it present? So all those areas of the plants that require a lot of cell division, or that require a great deal of concentration so that they can constantly divide. So such as the fruits and the seeds. So there cytokinins are present in much more amount as compared to the other parts. Then comes the abscisic acid. Now, abscisic acid is also known as a stress hormone. Now, what does it do? We saw that auxin is causing the growth of the plant. We saw that gibberellin is causing the growth of the plant. And cytokinesis is happening with the help of the cytokinin hormone. But now, abscisic acid is that hormone that will stop the plant growth. It will not allow the plant to grow further. And have you ever seen those leaves that they normally the plant is erect, the leaves are very straight. Then if you don't water your plants, the leaves become droopy like this. Have you seen that? Have you people ever noticed it? So that process wherein the leaves become droopy, we call it as the wilting of leaves process. The leaves, they wilt, and they wilt because of the abscisic acid. So the abscisic acid, they cause the wilting of the leaves, and it is a plant growth inhibitor. It inhibits the growth of the plant. And whenever the plant grows towards its old age, meaning the plant grows old, so this is the hormone that is released a lot. Okay. And always remember that the first three hormones that we have studied, meaning the auxin, gibberellin, cytokinins, they are known as the plant growth promoter. Why? Because they are enhancing the growth of the plant. They are making the plant grow taller. But when we talk about abscisic acid, so it is known as the plant growth inhibitor. Clear, students? Any doubts? The whole entire phytohormone portion is clear to you all? Okay, so you know what's the good news with this? We have actually completed the chapter control and coordination. The chapter is completed finally. Now see students. Uh, right now, so you people will take down the notes, but in like for the next class, I'm telling all of you who are present in the class, remember this one thing that from the next class, we'll start the revision of life processes. Okay. So I want you all to revise your notes, to revise what I have taught in the class for life processes. Before doing the revision from the next class, I'll ask you people questions. So be prepared with that. I'll sort of take a small little viva. So all of you be prepared with the, you can say, chapter. Okay, students? So before the next class, not right now, before the next class. Okay, now you people can note down, and then we'll see if we have time. Then I'll discuss the next chapter, or else we'll keep it till here. Okay, you people can switch off your videos and then note down. Done, students? Are
Yes,
you all
ma'am.
done here? Okay.